idea. Good morning, everyone. Welcome our new musician, Neil. He's here for the first time. Thank you for coming, Neil. Thank you all for coming out on this cold December day. Grateful that you're here. Just really one announcement that I want to, I guess two. We will have the Burning Bowl White Stone ceremony next Sunday, so be sure to be here for that. And also, I have a couple of people I want you to keep in prayer. Linda Lewis and Dolores Ellison. They both have contracted COVID, and so we need to keep them in prayer. It's important to keep all our community in prayer because I really feel like we're entering a very tricky time for us. Jim, is the mic going to work, or do I need to? Okay. So just keep those people in prayer. All right, to get our service going, Jim Saul is going to come up and do a treatment for us. Come on up, Jim.
Test. Good morning. It's wonderful to see a bunch of cold people here this morning. I thought I might be the only one. When I think of prayer, I think of healing. So this morning I want to try to do a little bit of a different kind of prayer. What I want to do is visualize all those people that we can think of, one by one, who need healing this morning. So come with me and close your eyes. And just know that there is a divine intelligence right here with us that guides us and teaches us and loves us unconditionally. And we can accept the noise of the traffic and the cold and all the things that come that distract us from our spiritual goal. But we can keep focused on the healing of our friends, our neighbors, our loved ones. So let's begin and just visualize someone that you know that needs healing. And as you do an out-breath, just say, heal, in your mind. And now intake another breath. And as you exhale, picture someone else that needs healing and just in your mind say, and heal you. And another, picture and heal them as well. And just picture person after person, sending them healing energy. Some we need to send healing energy because of loss. Some we need to send healing energy because of an illness or a financial struggle. Some we need to heal in other ways. And just know that everyone that we envision feels our love, our compassion, and the healing energy that we are sending them. This is an unusual time, and we can use it to advance our spiritual connection with a higher power by using it to help heal ourselves and others. So picture one more person and just send them healing energy. I like to do this kind of prayer often, especially at night when I'm awake and I want to go to sleep. I just picture person after person, healing energy after healing energy. It gives me a heartfelt connection with each person, and it gives me an inner contentment, knowing that this divine intelligence is guiding me. It's this kind of prayer, it's this kind of meditation that makes us strong and healthy and compassionate and filled with love. So we take this idea this morning and know that it doesn't stop here this morning, that we can use this type of prayer tonight, tomorrow, whenever it comes about, whenever we feel the need to help others. We can do it in our thoughts and our prayers. So I give thanks for each person here. I give thanks for this center, for it has given us so much over the lifetime of this center. I give thanks for Reverend Ken, for he guides us in word and deed. And ultimately, I give thanks for this divine intelligence that is always present within us, outside of us, and around us. And I know that we use that energy to help others. And so I know this prayer is true and positive, and will go out and help all these people that we can envision. And I can release it to become so, simply by saying, and so it is. And thank you.
Thank you, Jim. That was lovely. Neil, you got a song for us?
Draw me close to you. Never let me go. to hear you say that I'm your friend. You are my desire. No one else will do. Hear it all down again. To hear you say that I'm your friend. Draw me close to you. Never let me go. You're all I want. You're all I ever needed. You're all I want. Help me know you're near. Draw me close to you. Never let me go. Lay it all down again. To hear you say that I'm your friend. You are my desire. No one else will do. Nothing else can take your place. To feel the warmth of your embrace. Help me find a way. Bring me back to you. You're all I want. You're all I ever needed. You're all I want. Help me know you're near. You're all I want. You're all I ever needed. You're all I want. Help me know you're near.
Thank you, Neil. That was very nice. Thank you. Well, my talk this morning is the mind of God. You know, in January, I kind of have a tradition that I go over the first 4 chapters of the Science of Mind textbook. So I thought it would be good to find another source, because while the first 4 chapters are really good, if you go back to chapter 24 in the textbook, he has a chapter called General Summary. And actually, I think that's a better encapsulation of our teaching. We don't really use it a lot, but I think it's a better summary. In it, he starts saying, this is Dr. Holmes, the founder of our teaching. He starts off by saying that our mind is in some part the mind of God. Therefore, in our mind, we contain all the power and possibilities for expansion and self-creation that Spirit has. We have that power for endless self-expression, for both good and bad. It's like getting in the car. You get in the car, you have your stick shift, you can put it in forward, or you could put it in reverse. The car does not care. It's going to power either direction. We're the ones that make that choice. We're the ones that decide how we're going to use the mind of God. And for some reason I'm not really sure of, we're reluctant to take on that responsibility. We don't want to use it for ourselves. Dr. Holmes says that our part of this mind is self-knowing, it's assertive, it can make decisions, it can decide what we want and what we don't want. He says it's independent of conditions. And this is really a very powerful statement. Viktor Frankl in Man's Search for Meaning said the exact same thing. Viktor Frankl said that everything can be taken from you. And he should know because he went through the Nazi concentration camps during the Holocaust. He said everything can be taken, but there's one thing that nobody can take from you, and that is your ability to focus your consciousness, your thinking, on what you choose to think about. And you can always choose to think about either the best possibilities or the worst possibilities. And in that lies all the power of the universe. A situation may have the truth about it, but it's not true for you. You always have the truth of spirit within you. Dr. Holmes says that with this power, we can temporarily call into any situation, conditions, events, people, places, and things that we want that will help us along our pathway of self-discovery. And what is our pathway of self-discovery? It's knowing that we are loved, we're supported, and that we are important in the mind of God. You have come to life to do something wonderful, joyful, loving, and meaningful. You may have given up on yourself, but God never has. God prayed you into existence so that you can be here to have wonderful love, amazing health, success, friendship, love, joy, happiness, all of that. That's what you're here to do. To live a healthy and loving and joyful life. Like many of you over the Christmas day, we watched a lot of movies. And we watched one that I had, it's been my favorite for a long time, It's a Wonderful Life. And in It's a Wonderful Life, George Bailey gets to experience life from a different plane of existence. He goes from his life that's full of love and challenges and friendship and enemies. That's his life. Then he gets to go to experience another plane of existence that is reflective in Pottersville. And Pottersville is hell on earth. It's a place where greed has been allowed to run rampant, where there's violence, there is distrust, there is just avarice. Now, both of those planes of existence are projected through the universal possibilities. George Bailey gets to decide which one he wants to live in. And it's the same with us. The universal mind holds many planes of possibilities. We're the ones that get to decide. Am I going to experience love and joy, happiness and health? Or I'm going to experience lack and limitation. Now, Dr. Holmes says the mind of God is infinite. We're some part of it. We are constantly unfolding our greater understanding of what part we are of it. He says we don't fully get it at yet. We don't completely understand what our part is. And it's a challenge for us to step up and say, yes, I'm a part of the mind of God. There's something good. There's something important. There's something powerful for me to know. I'm not just a weak and wounded cog in the machine. I'm the knower that gets to decide that I have had enough of lack and limitation, that I am bringing love and joy and prosperity and health and compassion and kindness in my life now through the power and means of God. It's what Spirit has called me to do, and today I'm stepping up to it. But it's easy to flip over to that victimhood state where we're just another victim, or I'm not worthy. I'm not that important. You know, it's not for me in this lifetime to have enlightenment. If not now, when? If not you, then who? Now's the time. There's a lot of theology. They want to say, well, we'll have a better understanding when we cross over in heaven. If you don't have the understanding now, you're not going to have it when you're in spirit. My teacher, Kennedy Schultz, he said, death improved nobody. If you don't get it now, you won't get it then. Now's the moment. Now's the time to step up. Now, we don't want to step up because, like I said, we don't want to give up victimhood. We love our victimhood. It's what we enjoy talking about. Victimhood will make you the most popular person at the party. You can go into any place you want to and start complaining about the government, the healthcare system, how somebody has done you wrong. Oh, come, we'll buy you a drink. Come on, fella, you're in good company. Step into any place and start talking about how things are getting better, how we can improve stuff, how life can be good. They'll run you off. They don't want to hear that. Now, the biggest thing you're going to do when you give up victimhood, you are going to start losing people. You'll start losing family and friends. The reason why? Because you're no longer supporting their explanation of why their life isn't working out. And you don't have to make any kind of announcements. They'll just drift away naturally on their own, because then they'll go away and they'll find somebody who will support their story of victimhood. And don't worry about them. Like the old country music song, there's a bar somewhere playing sad country music, so they'll find somebody. You can be like my sister who's 18 years older than me. She was the beauty queen. And the first romance she had was a bad romance. And she got kind of obsessed by this album. It was a country music star named Kitty Wells. If you don't know who Kitty Wells is, you're lucky. Kitty Wells had sung a song by Willie Nelson, actually. It's called Hello Walls. And in it, the singer comes home to a house that's empty from her loved one. And she's lonesome and sad. And she starts singing to the walls. Hello, walls. And the walls start singing back to her. Hello, hello, hello. When window panes start singing back to you, you're in trouble. That's the time to get a rubber chicken and start swinging it over your head because you need some help. That's when you've dug yourself so into victimhood you can't find light. And that's a scary place to be. That's a stuck place. And in a stuck place, even spirit has a hard time getting you a greater possibility. Now, the mind of God is the only mind that's ever been. It's eternal. It is changeless. It never began. It will never cease. It's complete. It's perfect. It's whole. It's satisfied. It is at peace with itself. It's God. Why shouldn't it be at peace with itself? It has never been angry or mad. It has never been upset. If it ever did, if it ever was mad or upset or angry, it would cease to be God. It would be one of your co-workers that knows everything. God is at complete ease with itself, and it is at ease with you. It has never been disappointed in you. It has never been upset with you. It knows the best for you, because that's the only thing it can know, the best. It believes in the best of us. We are the only ones that put time and energy into any idea that's not good for us. God doesn't give it any energy, but we do. And we have this deep, unabiding fear that somehow we're just not deserving of the good of life. I'm not sure where it comes from, but it seems to me that it's really kind of our eternal enemy, this idea that we're just not up to it. You know, my niece, who has her little 7-year-old little guy, Luke, running around, she called me on Christmas Eve because she'd had a long conversation with him. Luke had come to her with a worry, and his worry was that he was on Santa's naughty list. Now, unlike my parents, who started sometime around October threatening me with that, she has never brought up the idea that he could be on the naughty list. So where did that idea come from? Where did it bubble up in his consciousness that he might be on that naughty list? This is something that we have to look at square on. We've got to acknowledge it and not give it any energy. In fact, what we have to do is we have to replace it with a greater idea. And that idea is that we can live lives of love and joy, that we can be happy to be alive, that we can have a life that's worth living. This is the true part of ourselves, and this is what we want to call into our experience. Now, next week, we're going to have the burning bowl and white stone ceremony. It's one of our most popular events of the season. And it's where you get to come up and you get a little piece of flash paper and you get to write something down on it that you want to release. And then you get a little piece of tile and you write down something on that you want to attract in your life. You know, this coming week is really kind of a special week in the year. In between the getting rid of the old year and stepping into the new year. And it would be a wonderful time for all of us to really give some consideration about what it is that I can do better without in my life. And here's the most important thing. You know, they say, well, New Year's resolutions don't work. And the reason they don't work is because we focus on what we're doing wrong. Don't do that. Don't give any energy on what you're doing wrong. Instead, focus on what you can do really wonderful. What is it that you can put your energy in, your joy in? Do not beat yourself up. You cannot criticize yourself to enlightenment. If you could, my mother would have raised 4 saints, and she did not. You want to praise yourself into the better you, into the best you possible. So start visualizing yourself as loving, as joyful, as powerful. It's good for you to have power. With your power flows all the power and creativity of the universe. That which set the rings of Saturn in motion is willing to work for you to have joy in your life, to have love in your life, to have health and prosperity, for you to live in a community of kindness and compassion, for you to live in a nation that works together, that just works at all. Spirit has called you to be here now, to live an abundant and wonderful life, and it's ours to step up into it. So see yourself having the life of your dreams and make that commitment with Spirit. I'm going to walk towards it. I'm going to do my part. See, there's 2 things. You do your part, but Spirit does it. And don't put one iota of energy into any kind of negative thought of lack or limitation. Take your steps and keep moving in the direction you wish to have. The promised land is just beyond the next horizon, and we can walk on dry land to it. Now, that's what the children of Israel did when they crossed over into the promised land. There they were facing the Red Sea. Moses looked out on those waters, and he said, "Waters part." And the children of Israel walked on dry land. Do you think God has any less favor in you? You can walk on dry land to your promised land of health and love and abundance. Give yourself some praise. Praise is the most amazing and powerful thing in the world. Why not praise yourself? You're doing a good job. You're working so hard at being a good person. Praise yourself. It's an amazing power. You know, before the COVID came along, I was going to the gym, and I was very strenuous. You were in these classes, and they would have these 25-year-old coaches coaching all of us older people. And one of the coaches, he kind of was fond of me. And so one day he got me to run a full mile. And that was a big breakthrough for me. Afterwards, he came up to me and he asked me, he said, Ken, he said, when was the last time you ran a mile? I looked at him and I said, Coach Jason, the last time I ran a mile was when I had a mob chasing me. Now, you don't need a mob chasing you to move towards your good. What did the Gospel of Luke said? He said the shepherds made haste to get to the child. When they heard about the child, they made haste to get there. When they heard about a better idea, about how to live in more love and joy, they made haste. Let us make haste to a better idea. An idea of us living in health and love and prosperity, of friendship, of compassion and kindness. Let us make haste to a nation in health and working together, and with less with less victimhood and turmoil and anger. Let us make haste to our community here, beloved CSL, getting back together in person, of us meeting inside, of us moving towards a wonderful music program, even better than the one we had before. Let us make haste to our power, that we know the goodness and the love and joy and compassion of God is flowing through us, and we are part of it, and we are bringing about a new heaven and a new earth in this lifetime through us, through our power. God has faith in you. I have faith in you. God has gifted you all the power you need to bring about all the goodness you can imagine for us. God prayed you into existence so that you could be here now in this time to make it happen. It's the truth in your life this morning. It's the truth in mine, and so it is. Thank you. Thank you.
Down into darkness, open my eyes, let me see beauty that made this heart adore you. Open the fire, standing in you. Here I am to worship, here I am to bow down, here I am to sing that you're my God. You're altogether lovely, altogether worthy, altogether wonderful to me. altogether wonderful to me. Here I am to worship, here I am to bow down, here I am to see that you're my God.
Thank you. Very nice. All right, so let's close our service with an affirmative prayer. I'm going to do this in the first person. Take it in for yourself. Say something that works for you, hold tight to that. But say something that doesn't work for you, just let that part slide by. But just know this truth with me this morning. That here now, I know that I have all the power and love of Spirit flowing through me. I know there is but one God, one mind, and I am a part of that one God and one mind. That I have been called from stardust to be here now in this place to experience all the love, joy, mercy, and compassion that God had in mind when it prayed me into existence. So here today, I leave behind every idea of lack and limitation. I leave behind every thought of victimhood. I've played with those toys long enough. I now step into my spiritual maturity. I lift my eyes up to a better knowing for myself, knowing that God is flooding my life with joy and health and love and kindness and compassion. That I can move out in my world strong with knowing that I am supported and loved by God. That the truth of me is the truth that I am here to experience great love and joy, and that God won't have it any other way, and neither will I. This is my truth this morning. I celebrate this right idea, and I release this prayer into the mind of God to do its good and perfect, bold and dynamic work, returning to me multiplied abundantly. And together we say, and so it is. All right, my friends, know this last truth with me. Your life is not a problem to be solved. It's a miracle unfolding. Your job this year, this coming year, is to go name your miracle, to proclaim your miracle, and to make it your own. God bless us all. Now let us go be the miracle God has called us to be. Until I see you again, many blessings. Reverend Ken.
You came to see me. You came from heaven to earth to show the way. From the earth to the cross, my debt to pay. From the cross to the grave, from the grave to the sky. Lord, I lift your name on high. Oh, oh, oh. From heaven to earth to show the way. From the earth to the cross, my debt to pay. From the cross to the grave, from the grave to the sky. Lord, I lift your name on high.